Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Kayla Doodle and Brown, and this is my first YouTube video. Well, I guess technically it's not my first. I have had another YouTube channel before, but I didn't really care for the direction that it was going, and it mostly became like something I had for fun. So I decided to start over and make a new channel from scratch. And the title of this video, as you all can clearly see, is Sit and Draw, and I'm thinking of either calling it maybe Sit and Draw episode 1 or Sit and Draw Lazy and Cowardly, because that's the subject of the video today. So I'm sure most of you are probably wondering, well, why did you decide to call it Lazy and Cowardly? So for a long time, I really struggled with being cowardly, and it eventually kind of went into also like laziness after a bit. But I'm sure the biggest question a lot of you are probably asking, well, how the heck did you become, how does one become a cowardly and lazy person? So with a little bit of context and some background about me, growing up, I think that I was a very loud and annoying kid, and I didn't have very quote unquote typical girl interest. And don't get me wrong, I liked my Barbies, my Bratz and stuff, but at the same time I was pretty big into anime, manga, a lot of Japanese stuff, a lot of animal stuff too, really big Sonic the Hedgehog fan, Kingdom Hearts vibe. Hopefully like someone out there who's watching this will like freaking get it. maybe like nerd is the best way to describe myself, but I definitely was not cool. And typically if you had those interests in the 2010s, 2000s, you weren't very cool. But that's just how I was, and I would say annoying too. I don't think I'm afraid to say, like, sometimes when you are that kid that's a little bit too interested in, you know, video games, hobbies, anime, or whatever, you can come off annoying to the average person. It just is what it is, because your interests aren't really the normal interest. And with me being, you know, just kind of, you know, extra with energy, and also my voice didn't exactly make it any better. My voice tends to be really slow and monotone sometimes, and that was like a big reason for me to kind of get picked on too. So after a while, I want to say either in not middle school, but maybe around 3rd or 4th grade, I kind of had a really hard time navigating being myself. So eventually that kind of turned into me really wanting to people please, because for one, I really wanted to be liked and I didn't want to get picked on, and I just wasn't really myself for like a long time. And that even went into my adulthood. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people kind of have the belief that once you graduate high school, like, oh, you can just like be yourself truly and stuff like that, but it's really not that easy. And at least from what I've seen, I haven't seen anyone like talk about that, where you imagine just spending your grade school years, your middle school years, your high school years not being your genuine self. You almost don't know who you are, and it's really hard trying to navigate that and outgrow those patterns of like, you know, I'm not in these environments anymore. I don't have to like hide my opinion. I don't have to worry about what people are gonna say. And even if they don't agree with your opinion, or if someone says weird stuff behind your back, you've been able to mature and navigate like, hey, it just is what it is. But for me, I was definitely one of those people where, and even still now a little bit, it's not as bad as what it used to be, but I had to, for a long time, learn how to develop the skill of just not caring. And not caring like in that way of like, hey, someone blocked me in the grocery store, whatever. No, I mean just like, hey, oh, you like this show or you like that game. Well, I don't like that game. It's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Or such and such have all gone out, but no one invited you or forgot you, and it's like, oh well, that's okay. It still hurts, but I have the what's the word, that mental fortitude, or now that normal healthiness of knowing, hey, it's okay. It is what it is. But eventually, with me being so cowardly so long too, it seeped into like my art life. For a long time, I struggled with making art for me personally. I was so worried about what people would say. Would they like my pieces? Did I put out this type of art and all of this and the third? It just didn't make it any better for me. And because of that, I ended up becoming, don't get me wrong, as a kid I already like struggled with staying focused and staying on more tasks, and then keep in mind you don't know who you are, so then you develop all these other issues and overthinking in your head, and you end up not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, eventually the cowardliness also seeped into becoming lazy, because I'm too scared, because I'm worried about what everyone else is gonna think, and I'm overthinking my art to the point where I'm not practicing, I'm not studying, I'm not growing more in my craft, because I, for one, am worried about what other people think rather than having faith in myself and just going for it. I just feel really bad about it. Now, I would say within the last year and a half, I feel like I've gotten like my spark back for art, which is wonderful. But at the same time, you can't turn back the clock. And you feel, well, at least me, I can only speak for me really. I feel really bad about it, but I also know like, hey, it is what it is and it's gonna be okay. Another thing that's really helped me kind of rekindle the fire and keep going is that my faith in Christ. So I am a Christian, and this video is also for like anyone, but if you also are a Christian, and even if you're not, you can also apply this to your life. Your time has value. Whatever what you want to do has value. Don't waste worrying about what other people are going to think, because then you can end up not doing what you're supposed to be doing. The last thing you want is to see someone working on an idea and you're like, man, I had an idea like that or something similar, but because I was so worried about what other people were thinking, or how my art looked, that I didn't really put the time and energy into it to improve, because I was worrying about stuff that didn't matter. And if you're a follower of Christ, his standard really should be the most important thing in your life. Something that I also really regret is that if I would have just had faith in myself and had faith in Christ, that I would be so much further than what I am now. And now the only thing I can really do is to redeem whatever time I have left. Because, sorry to say, no one knows how much time they have left on this planet, you know, and to try to relearn things and learn some new things and keep moving forward. Because that's all you can do. The past is in the past, so let it go. And forgive yourself. I really struggled with forgiving myself because I just felt like I was just such a screw up. And how many people who went through a similar situation that I've gone through of not being myself, but they were able to hop back on that horse quick and just figure it all out. We're all made differently. We all have different backgrounds, but for some reason I really couldn't let go of the fact that there's someone out there who may not be exactly like me, but they've gone through a lot of similar stuff, but yet they made do with their time and they persevered and trusted God. So for a minute I was just really, really depressed. I was crying a lot, and I just told God, and I like apologized for all the time that I'd wasted, but then I just asked that He just help me, get my desire for art back, because it is something that I genuinely do love. I love comics, I love manga. I want to make them someday. I really want to make really cool illustrations, but now I have to try to redeem the time and relearn, and that sucks because that can bring on frustration too, of seeing other people that are the same age as you or other art friends who stuck with it and they look so much further than you, and then you get back depressed. But then you gotta remind yourself, hey, it's okay. Everyone's journey is different. This is just something that you're going through, and God knew you would go through it. So now that you know like what you struggled with or what have been your issues in the past, let's learn from that and just go forward. And to anyone who isn't Christian, I just want to say that the same thing can apply to you, which, like I said before, whatever you haven't done, just go ahead and start now. Start doing research. Start looking into why you want to do a thing, why you love it, and what got you off course. And just reset. Even now, with looking at this illustration that I made and coloring, I'm looking at like, the perspective on the chains could be better. I could have blended this better. Like the marker work in this is terrible in my opinion. It could have been a lot better, but because I hadn't done it in a while, this is just what it is. But at the same time, I did it, so I gotta be proud of that, and that's a stepping stone. To anyone also who is watching this, if you're young, if you're old, I don't care if you're 15, 16, 12, 30, 40, whatever. The advice I would give you if you still feel like you are people pleasing is to, of course, try to stop, but ask yourself, why are you doing it? And then begin to make steps to move away from it. Oh, is it because you want to be liked? That's fine. But can I be liked by a different group of people? Do I have to sacrifice my opinions and what I really like in order to make friends? And even just like dignity. That's a big part of people pleasing, is that sometimes the people around you can know that you're so eager to hang and be around each other. Some of them can begin to disrespect you because they know that, well, this person won't stick up for themselves or say anything. And maybe the group that you're around is like really cool and they really have it all together, and you just want that because you feel like you don't have that. But be the person that you want to be and begin to ask yourself, like, this cool sweet, confident person that I want to be. Maybe not that toxic part. Everyone's a little toxic, but do you want to be that person that's cool but disrespectful? Do you want to be that person that can still, like, be themselves, but not at the cost of having to embarrass or belittle someone? And make changes gradually. No one I know immediately typically cuts off, whether it be a people pleasing friendship, or maybe they still decide to stay in the friendship, work environment, whatever, but they decide to change how they go about being in that environment. And that could be, sticking up for yourself little by little, or hanging out by yourself more and more until you can find your group. That's fine. And as for I know I've probably said "and" so many times, and I'm so sorry. Not used to doing this type of stuff. If you're also wanting to outgrow laziness or not become a lazy person due to always overthinking and not getting stuff done, start small. Start with your little sketches, your little ideas, or whatever it is you want to do, even if it's a business idea. I don't care what it is, and you shouldn't either. Do it because you want to do it, and I hope it's something that's, not only a blessing to you, but a blessing to others. And not others in a sense of I need people to like it, but just anyone can enjoy it. Comics, like I mentioned before, pretty much anyone can enjoy comics, and it's something that can bring joy to everybody. But do it because you want to do it, and don't waste time. Don't let any more time pass you by. And I'm not saying that you can't make up for lost time, and that God can't redeem the time for you, but it's better to not waste it, because you can't get it back. And of course you can, like I said before, you can start anew, but having to relearn can be hard, and sometimes that relearning process is what causes people to truly give up, because they feel like there is just no way back because I've been gone for something for too long. Something that I'm also learning is that it's okay to not tell everyone your goals. As someone who struggled with this for so long, and then I'm finally starting to get out of it near the end of my 20s, which is really sad, but better late than never. It's okay to move in silence. It's okay to not tell everybody, oh, I've got this idea, I've got that idea. Just do it. And even if you want to, you can always make an anonymous page to post your art and work if you're not too sure about the business idea you got or the dream. Move in silence. Sometimes the less people know, the better, because not only will you not have to deal with the opinions and judgments of other people, they won't even know that you've been taking pottery classes for 2 years now, and now you're in an art show, or now you're making this big whatever. But be proud of it. Be proud of what you do. Be proud of the goals that you're setting and what you've got planned for yourself. And now that we're kind of near the end of the video, I'm wrapping up and coloring it in more, but sadly I messed up that corner. But that's okay, because now I know what to do the next time I make an illustration using Copics. I should probably test my colors first, but I was just so happy to do this and get it done that I was not using the artist side of my brain like I should have. But I think I'm trying to fix it, but I'm not fixing it too good. Something else just crossed my mind, in that if you're not sure how to start your new goal, get a notebook, write down what you want to do, how you can do it, how long it would take you, And don't make it something that's big and ridiculous, because otherwise you're going to get frustrated. Be realistic with yourself. Be patient. Start off with what you can do in a week, 2 weeks, then a month, and then what are some long-term things that you can do throughout the year. Alrighty, here's the final product. Not too bad, but now that we're at the end of the video, I hope you guys remember to do your best. God and Christ love you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.